Have you ever spoken yet felt unheard? As if your words disappeared into thin air, leaving no impact on those around you. Many people believe that speaking louder or saying more will earn them respect. But the truth is, respect is not given to those who demand it. It is given to those who embody it. The Stoics understood this well. They knew that true influence does not come from force or volume. It comes from wisdom, restraint, and presence. When you speak with clarity, purpose, and confidence, without excess or desperation, people listen. So why do some individuals captivate a room with just a few words, while others struggle to hold attention? The answer is not in what they say, but in how they say it. The most respected speakers communicate with precision and control. They understand that their words carry weight only when they are used deliberately. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one." The same applies to how we speak. If you want others to respect you, you must first respect yourself. That starts with mastering the way you communicate. In this video, we will explore timeless Stoic principles that will transform the way you speak. These are not just techniques. They are ways to strengthen your presence and earn the respect of those around you. By the end of this video, you will understand why unnecessary apologies weaken your words, why setting boundaries makes you more respected, and how mastering silence can command attention. If you are ready to sharpen your words and strengthen your presence, stay with me. And if you find value in this, consider supporting the channel by liking, commenting, or subscribing. Now, let us begin. Eliminate the "I'm sorry" habit. Words shape perception. The way you speak influences how others see you and how you see yourself. One of the most subtle yet destructive habits that erode respect is over-apologizing. You may not even realize how often you do it, but every unnecessary "I'm sorry" chips away at your presence, making you seem uncertain, hesitant, and even unworthy of attention. Imagine this: you walk into a meeting 2 minutes late. The first words out of your mouth are, "Sorry, I'm late." Instantly, you position yourself as the problem, as if your mere presence requires justification. But does it? Life happens. Traffic, back-to-back meetings, unforeseen delays. Instead, try saying, "Thanks for waiting." One signals guilt, the other signals control. Or picture another scenario. You are walking through a crowded hallway and someone accidentally bumps into you. Without thinking, you blurt out, "Oh, sorry." But why? Why are you apologizing for existing in a shared space? Every unnecessary apology sends a subtle message not just to others, but to yourself that you are an inconvenience. And the more you reinforce that belief, the more others begin to treat you accordingly. This habit seeps into emails, texts, and daily conversations. "Sorry to bother you, but sorry, just checking in. Sorry, can I ask a question?" These phrases may seem polite, but they communicate self-doubt. And when you constantly frame your words as an intrusion, people will subconsciously start treating them that way. I used to be trapped in this cycle myself. I remember sitting in a meeting where someone interrupted me mid-sentence. Without thinking, I stopped and said, "Oh, sorry, go ahead." The moment I heard those words leave my mouth, I realized something. I was apologizing for being interrupted. Why was I making myself smaller? That was the turning point. From that moment on, I made a conscious effort to break the habit. Here is a simple rule. Before you say "I'm sorry," ask yourself, did I actually do something wrong? If the answer is no, reframe your response. Instead of "Sorry for bothering you," say, "Do you have a moment?" Instead of "Sorry, can I add something?" say, "I would like to add something." These small shifts make a big impact. They do not just eliminate unnecessary apologies. They change how people perceive you. There is another hidden danger in apologizing too often. It creates an expectation that you are always at fault. Over time, this conditions others to see you as someone who will take blame, yield space, and accept unfair treatment. Maybe it starts with someone speaking over you. Then it turns into colleagues assuming you will handle extra tasks without question. Before long, your time, energy, and boundaries are consistently disregarded. Let us say a coworker hands off a last-minute task, expecting you to take it on. If your default response is, "Oh, sorry, I will try to fit this in," you have just set a precedent. Your workload is less important than theirs. Instead, try saying, "I will not be able to take this on right now. Let's figure out another solution." No apology, no unnecessary justification, just clarity and confidence. This also applies in social situations. How many times have you agreed to plans you did not want simply because you felt bad saying no? A friend invites you to an event you have no interest in, and you respond, "Sorry, I cannot make it." But why apologize for prioritizing your time? A stronger response would be, "I will not be able to make it, but I hope you have a great time." No guilt, no excuses, just honesty. Of course, there are moments when an apology is necessary. When you have genuinely hurt someone or made a mistake, taking responsibility is a sign of strength, not weakness. The key is intentionality, apologizing when it is meaningful, not as a default reaction. If you want to break this habit, start by paying attention. Challenge yourself to go a full day without saying "I'm sorry" unless it is truly warranted. Keep track of the moments when you feel the urge to apologize and ask yourself if there is a better way to phrase your response. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes to speak with confidence. If you want others to respect you, it starts with how you carry yourself. Eliminating unnecessary apologies is not just about speech. It is about self-perception. The moment you stop apologizing for things that do not require it, you will notice a shift. People will start listening more, taking your words seriously, treating you with the respect you deserve. Now that we have tackled over apologizing, let us move on to another crucial principle: setting boundaries and sticking to them. Set boundaries and stick to them. Epictetus once wrote, "No man is free who is not master of himself." If you want others to respect you, you must first respect yourself. One of the most fundamental ways to do that is by setting clear boundaries and enforcing them. People treat you the way you allow them to. If you do not define your limits, others will define them for you. We have all been there. You agree to something you do not want to do just to avoid conflict. You let someone overstep because you do not want to seem rude. You take on extra work because saying no feels uncomfortable. But here is the truth. When you do not set boundaries, you are not being kind. You are being a doormat. Think about the last time you said yes to something you did not want to do. Maybe it was staying late at work because a coworker did not finish their task. Maybe it was answering a late-night message when you desperately needed rest. Maybe it was listening to someone vent while ignoring your own exhaustion. In that moment, you were not prioritizing yourself. You were prioritizing their comfort at your expense. I used to do this constantly. One time, a friend asked me to help them move. My weekend was packed, but I felt obligated to say yes. The moment I agreed, I regretted it. I spent the weekend exhausted, frustrated not at them, but at myself. Why? Because I had the power to say no, and I did not use it. That is when something clicked. Every time I said yes to something I did not want to do, I was saying no to something I actually valued. My time, my energy, my priorities. From that moment on, I made a rule: if it is not a true yes, it is a no. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." If you constantly signal that your needs do not matter, people will believe it. But when you stand firm, people recognize that you operate on a higher level, and they respect that. Setting boundaries is not about being aggressive. It is about being clear. If a friend invites you out and you do not want to go, do not say, "I'd love to, but I have so much to do." Just say, "I am staying in tonight." No justification. If a coworker tries to offload their work onto you, do not say, "I'll try to fit it in." Just say, "I am not available for that right now." If someone speaks to you disrespectfully, you do not have to argue or defend yourself. Just say, "I do not allow people to talk to me that way." Boundaries are like a muscle. The more you use them, the stronger they get. At first, it may feel uncomfortable, but over time, you will realize something. People who truly respect you will respect your boundaries. Those who do not, they never truly respected you to begin with. Saying no does not make you difficult. It makes you respected. Respect yourself enough to set limits. Make your needs and priorities clear. Because when you do, you will not only gain respect from others, you will gain respect for yourself. Now that you understand the power of boundaries, let us move on to the next essential skill: mastering the art of pausing. Master the art of pausing. Seneca once wrote, "Silence is a lesson learned through suffering." Most people, however, are terrified of it. The moment there is a gap in conversation, they rush to fill it, rambling, over-explaining, speaking too quickly, all in an attempt to seem confident. But in doing so, they weaken the impact of their words. If you want people to truly listen and respect what you say, you must learn to pause. In today's world, quick responses are often mistaken for intelligence. Many believe that speaking faster makes them seem smarter. But the truth is, words spoken without pause lose their weight. They blur together, becoming background noise instead of something worth focusing on. The human brain is not wired to absorb an endless stream of rapid information. It needs space to process, reflect, and react. That is why pausing is so powerful. Imagine you are in a meeting, presenting an idea. You rush through your points, eager to sound competent. But by the time you finish, no one seems truly engaged. Now imagine a different approach. You speak with measured confidence. You make a key point, then pause. You let it land. Instead of rushing to fill the silence, you allow it to do its work. And suddenly the room leans in. People absorb your words. They listen. Some of the greatest speakers in history, Winston Churchill, Barack Obama, mastered this technique. They understood that silence is not empty. It is a tool. It creates emphasis, tension, and most importantly, authority. I learned this lesson the hard way. Early in my career, I believed proving my intelligence meant speaking as much as possible. I answered questions before they were fully asked, over-explained my ideas, and filled every quiet moment with words. After one particularly chaotic presentation, my manager pulled me aside and said, "You have great ideas, but you do not give people time to absorb them." That was my wake-up call. The next time I spoke in a meeting, I slowed down. After each key point, I paused. At first, it felt unnatural, almost like I was forgetting what to say next. But then something incredible happened. People started paying more attention, not less. They leaned in. They processed my words. Someone even told me afterward, that was really impactful. Every word felt like it mattered. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Think before you speak, but when the moment comes to act, do not hesitate." Pausing is not hesitation. It is precision. It sends a powerful message. I trust my words to stand on their own. It signals confidence, not insecurity. This does not just apply to public speaking. Think about arguments. When someone raises their voice, the instinct is to react immediately. But what happens when you do not? When you pause instead, that silence forces the other person to think. It shifts the power dynamic. Instead of reacting emotionally, you respond deliberately, instantly becoming the more composed, respected individual in the conversation. Pausing also transforms everyday conversations. The next time someone asks you a question, resist the urge to answer immediately. Take a second. Think, then speak. This subtle shift makes you seem more thoughtful, more deliberate, the kind of person others naturally respect. Here is a simple exercise. The next time you speak, whether in a casual conversation or a formal discussion, pause after your key points. Let the silence do the work for you. At first it may feel strange, but over time you will notice the effect. People will start listening more intently. Mastering the art of pausing is not just about speech. It is about control. It is about knowing that your words have value and that silence is not something to fear. It is something to own. Now that you understand the power of the pause, let us move on to the next skill, using humor wisely without diminishing your credibility. Use humor without becoming a clown. Seneca once wrote, "Laughter should not be abundant, nor should it be absent. There is a time for everything." Humor is a powerful tool. It can break tension, build connections, and even make you seem more intelligent. Studies show that people who use humor effectively are perceived as more competent and likable. But here is the catch. If misused, humor can undermine your credibility faster than anything else. There is a fine line between being witty and being the person no one takes seriously. If every time you speak you turn everything into a joke, people will start seeing you as just that, a joke. Respect is not given to the person who is always entertaining, but to the one who knows when to be serious and when to lighten the mood. Have you ever been in a meeting where someone kept cracking jokes? At first people laughed, but over time their words lost impact. No one saw them as a leader, just comic relief. Early in my career, I made this mistake. I used humor to hide my nerves. I would joke whenever I felt uncertain, thinking it made me more likable. And while people laughed, they did not take me seriously. One day, in a team meeting, I joked about being there just to make spreadsheets look pretty. My manager pulled me aside afterward and said, "You are better than that. Do not make yourself the punchline." That was my wake-up call. So how do you use humor in a way that builds respect instead of destroying it? First, understand the purpose of your humor. Is it to diffuse tension, make a point memorable, or build camaraderie? If it serves no purpose beyond getting a laugh, it is probably not worth saying. Second, avoid excessive self-deprecating humor. A little humility makes you relatable, but constant self-mockery erodes your credibility. Instead of saying, "I have no idea what I am doing," try, "This is a learning experience, and I am figuring it out." The first makes you look incompetent. The second shows confidence and adaptability. Third, read the room. Not every joke works in every situation. Sarcasm can come across as arrogant. Dark humor can be inappropriate in a professional setting. Before making a joke, ask yourself, will this add to the conversation, or will it distract from it? Marcus Aurelius once advised, let your words be few and well considered. Humor should serve a purpose, not dominate your message. Timing is also crucial. The best humor is spontaneous but controlled. Use it strategically when it can shift the energy or reinforce a point. A well-timed joke from a leader can diffuse tension and show confidence, not desperation for attention. Finally, avoid using humor as a shield to deflect discomfort. Sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is be direct. If you are uncomfortable, pause, collect your thoughts, and speak with intention. The bottom line is this: humor is a tool, not a crutch. Use it to elevate your message, not replace it. Master this balance, and you will not only be respected, you will be unforgettable. Now that you understand the power of humor, let us move on to something even more crucial: eliminating gossip from your speech. Drop the gossip. Epictetus once said, if you want to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid in unimportant matters. In other words, if maintaining integrity means stepping away from gossip, so be it. Nothing destroys respect faster than gossip. The moment people realize you talk about others behind their backs, they stop trusting you. Because if you gossip about one person, what is stopping you from doing the same to them? Gossip is tempting. It feels like a shortcut to bonding, a way to feel important by sharing inside knowledge. But in reality, it makes you look untrustworthy, insecure, and weak. I think about the people who command the most respect. They are not the ones whispering in the break room. They are the ones who speak with integrity, who do not waste time tearing others down. I learned this the hard way. There was a time when I got caught up in office gossip. It was not malicious, just small comments about co-workers' habits or personal lives. I thought it was harmless. But one day I overheard my own name in a whispered conversation. It hit me. If they were talking about me, that meant I was no different from them. From that moment on, I made a decision. I would not engage in gossip. When you refuse to participate in gossip, people notice. They see you as someone who can be trusted, someone who does not need to put others down to feel important. That earns far more respect than any fleeting sense of belonging that gossip provides. So how do you stop? First, recognize when it is happening. Gossip is not always obvious. It can be disguised as concern, curiosity, or venting. The key difference is this: gossip is talking about someone who is not there in a way that serves no real purpose. If it does not help resolve an issue, it is gossip. Second, redirect the conversation. If someone starts gossiping, you do not have to call them out aggressively. Just shift the topic. You can say, I would rather not talk about that. What else is going on? Or, that is their business. I hope they are doing okay. These responses make it clear that you will not engage. Marcus Aurelius once wrote, waste no more time arguing about what a good man should be. Be one. Instead of indulging in gossip, focus on things that matter: your growth, your goals, your character. At the end of the day, gossiping might make you feel important in the moment, but it destroys trust in the long run. If you want to be respected, speak with integrity. Refuse to engage in pointless drama. Keep your words focused on what truly matters. Now that we have covered why gossip is a respect killer, let us move on to our final step: knowing when to stop talking. You know when to stop talking? Epictetus once wrote, if you wish to improve, be content to appear clueless or stupid in unimportant matters. In other words, wisdom is not about saying more, it is about knowing when to say less. Many people are not taken seriously because they talk too much. It is an uncomfortable truth, but sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. We have all seen it. The person who keeps explaining long after they have made their point. The one who dominates conversations without realizing they are losing their audience. The one who fills every silence as if quiet moments are dangerous. But here is the truth. The more you talk, the less impact your words have. I used to struggle with this myself. I thought being persuasive meant providing as much detail as possible. I would over-explain, repeat myself, and rush to fill any pause. Then one day, after a long-winded explanation in a meeting, my boss pulled me aside and said, "You had them in the first 30 seconds, but then you lost them." That moment changed everything for me. Talking too much often comes from insecurity, the fear that if we do not keep speaking, we will be ignored or misunderstood. But true confidence is not in endless words. It is in precision. The most respected people do not ramble. They speak with clarity, trust their words, and know that silence is not their enemy. It is their ally. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Do not waste what remains of your life in speculating about others unless it brings some benefit." The same applies to speech. Do not waste words that do not serve a purpose. Here is how to fix this. First, be aware of your tendencies. Do you repeat yourself, over-explain, or feel uncomfortable with silence? Awareness is the first step to change. Second, practice the pause. Make your point, then stop. Let it sit. Let people process what you have said. It may feel awkward at first, but over time you will see that silence makes your words more powerful, not less. Third, trim the excess. Before speaking, ask yourself, what is the shortest, clearest way to say this? The best communicators say just enough, no more, no less. This is especially crucial in high-stakes situations. Imagine negotiating a salary. You state your number, then silence. The instinct is to justify it, to keep talking. But the smartest thing you can do is say it, then stop. Let the other person process. The same applies to arguments, interviews, and even everyday conversations. When you stop talking at the right moment, people listen more, take you more seriously, and ultimately respect you more. Now that we have covered all 6 principles, let us wrap this up with a final thought on what it truly means to command respect in every conversation. Respect is not something you ask for. It is something you earn through the way you carry yourself, speak, and engage with others. It is not about being the loudest or the smartest in the room. It is about presence, self-respect, and communicating with intention. If you want people to listen when you speak, start with these 6 principles. Eliminate unnecessary apologies. Every time you say "I'm sorry" when it is not needed, you weaken your words. Speak with confidence, not hesitation. Set boundaries and stick to them. If you do not define your limits, others will define them for you. Respect yourself enough to say no when necessary. Master the art of pausing. A well-placed pause gives your words weight and commands attention. People respect those who do not rush to speak but instead let their words land with impact. Use humor wisely. A well-timed joke can make you more likable, but over-using humor can diminish your credibility. Speak with confidence, not as a way to entertain. Drop the gossip. The moment people realize you talk about others behind their backs, they stop trusting you. Protect your integrity by keeping your words meaningful. You know when to stop talking. The most respected speakers know that silence can be more powerful than words. Say what needs to be said, then stop. Apply these principles, and you will notice a shift. People will listen more, take you more seriously, and most importantly, you will see yourself differently. Now, tell me, which principle do you need to work on the most? Leave a comment below. If this video helped you, like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear this. Speak with confidence. Own your space. Never shrink yourself for anyone. More powerful lessons coming soon. Stay tuned.